everybody. This is Mr. Steven. We have, in this episode of Fly Casual, comic highlights, Saturday morning resistance, and some women of the galaxy. We also have a discussion topic, maybe a little JJ in our lives. And thank you for coming to Fly Casual. Oh.
Let's get ready to wrinkle!
What's up, my friends?
What up?
What up?
So it sounds like Corey's still puking. Is that what's going on here?
You know, it's 2 weeks in a row. He's puking his guts out.
Oh, what a little bitch.
Yeah, he must have had way too much turkey over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Way too much.
I know. I gorged
Way too
myself.
much.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah.
I want you to tell me your specific, things that happened over Thanksgiving.
I had plenty of deep fried turkey, my friend.
Yeah.
It
Ooh.
was badass.
Yeah, I heard that they burnt
Crunchy on
down
the outside,
an
smooth in
outbuilding.
the middle.
An outbuilding had burned down. It was all over the news.
Yeah. You find out real quick that when you deep fry turkey, you don't do it in the garage.
You
Yeah.
burnt down half the Midwest, Mike.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, my brother started doing deep frying the turkeys here a few years ago, and in peanut oil, and yeah, that's badass.
Peanut oil.
Yeah, man. The only
Weird.
way to fly. The only
okay.
way to fly.
Yep.
Of course, which makes my brother-in-law mad because he's deathly allergic to the peanut oil. That's like hospital time for him. So, I was like, I guess I'm not coming. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Well, speaking of in the hospital, we are doing episode 206 of Fly Casual.
All right. You know
your
what's right.
favorite Star Wars podcast.
You know what's right
Has a
around
lot
the
to do
corner,
with
don't you?
hospitals.
207.
Episode 9. Oh, wait. No. Yeah, 207. You're right.
Yeah, right. Just right
That's how
around the
math
corner.
works.
Yeah, right. Math.
Yeah.
And speaking of math, Mr. Michael J. Archibald is here.
Meth? Is that what you said?
Meth. I said meth.
Meth. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Huh.
We're cooking. We're not cooking the turkey in the garage. We're cooking the meth in the garage.
You gotta burn the turkey to cover the cooking meth smell.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it has a
Everybody knows
particular odor.
In fact,
And-
they saw the cops coming, and that's actually why the garage burned down.
You know, which always
Cooking
makes
turkeys.
me laugh that they did Breaking Bad in Arizona or New Mexico or whatever it was.
That would be New Mexico.
Because Indiana happens to be
The meth capital
the
of the
meth
world.
capital of the world. That's right, by far. By
Like,
far.
there's not even a question.
Nobody's even close. Nobody's even close.
We're in a
that
happy...
story is fiction.
It is?
No.
There's no way that could be true.
That is
No, it is
absolutely
absolutely
true.
Especially up here in the northern parts of
That's
Indiana.
right. In the cornfields.
They've arrested quite a few.
Yeah, just 1 or 2,000
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah,
No, seriously, they had a
we are nestled in a fantastic area between Chicago and Detroit.
and Cincinnati and
Cincinnati,
Indianapolis.
yeah.
Yes, right.
And so
we're in the
we're
middle
like-
of all of that.
Yep.
It's affectionately known as the meth belt, if you will.
Yeah. And it's just amazing up here how if you ever wondered what the odor was coming through Indiana
And it's meth.
as you fly over. It's
Actually, it's funny because I work in
It's
real
also manure.
It is
it's
manure.
the
You're
meth
right.
from the manure.
Yeah, there's some of that, but I work in the real estate business, and it's funny because actually on our disclosures now, when you sell a house, there is a specific line that says, "Was this house a meth house?"
And over 50% have checked yes.
So yes,
And the other 50 were lying.
Exactly.
That's a thing in Indiana. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. Speaking of things in Indiana, there is Garrick, not Jay Hardy, across the pond and down
Here
a
I
few.
am. I'm in Indiana.
The Indiana
Yay, look at me.
Indiana boys on these Indiana nights.
That's right.
That's right.
I tell you what.
Last Dance, right?
That's right.
With Mary
With who?
Jane or
Mary
Methy
Meth.
Jane,
Well, not legal Mary Jane, not anytime soon. Of course, we can hop up to
Michigan, right?
yeah, right. Just across
Yeah.
the bridge, man. We can go to the
Yeah.
dispensary now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks, Canada.
And because I do different things differently than other people, I am your host with the most.
Yeah, right.
Stephen J. Howie.
Hi, Stephen J.
I feel like you stole that from somebody.
No, it's completely original.
The host with the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
The hostest with the mostest.
Kind of like how everybody does your mom, Garrick.
Oh,
Quite
Garrick's
original.
mom.
She's the original mom in the Your Mom.
She is.
the original.
Damn.
She's mom patient zero. Is that what you're saying?
Ground zero for your mom.
Oh.
Aw,
Yep.
my
In fact,
mom's.
anytime anybody's making a joke about your mom, other people's moms about your mom, she
Yeah.
gets paid money.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I heard that, man. She
We
filed.
must be rich.
She filed a copyright or something.
Can't.
Yeah.
Can't wait to inherit that.
Kind of like when they couldn't sing Happy Birthday on.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But now they can.
Are
Oh,
we past the deadline?
We're past
on that?
the whatchamacallit.
they
From what I
forget to
hear.
renew
I'm
their
probably wrong,
copyright.
and I apologize for being wrong.
Oh wow,
Yeah. It's amazing.
Then there's that.
There's
that's crazy.
that. Speaking of being, then there's that. We have a fantastic episode.
Yeah, we do. good
Got a
stuff
lot of
coming
good
up.
stuff lined up.
Yeah, Garrick.
I heard somebody got the Glee Club going.
Yeah,
We got some Glee Club stuff going on tonight.
Well, Garrick
Well,
is so
kinda.
excited to talk about Resistance, and I know Corey was excited to talk about Resistance.
yeah. He
but
actually watched,
he watched the
Resistance.
episodes.
It
Yeah.
was insane. He actually watched something.
Now, what does it tell you though that he watched the episodes and now
He's so
sick?
scared to talk about his opinion because he hates talking about things and giving an opinion about
Right.
it.
Oh, yeah.
He made
yeah.
himself sick.
He takes no
That's
position
not
on
fiction
anything.
No, not at all.
No, never.
So, without further ado, let's take a position on reviews.
Well, my position is missionary.
You got to take a position. One of the positions.
Is it the pole position?
It
I
may
know at
be.
least 4. I think I know 4 positions by name.
Really.
In the Kama
Probably
Sutra?
about it. Yes. The blooming lotus, right?
Sure.
That sounds
There's-
amazing.
I think there's
about right.
the rocking horse.
Oh,
Yeah.
your mom
I
likes
think-
that one.
Yeah, the rising sun,
Ooh, yeah, another good one.
Yeah.
and the crane. Yeah, the Karate Kid stole
that's
that.
it's Karate Kid.
Not many people know Karate Kid stole that from the Kama Sutra.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
In fact, next time you watch Karate Kid,
that brings a whole new spotlight on.
it's actually Karate Kid's actually a porn.
Daniel and
Karate
Mr.
Kid is
Miyagi.
actually a porn movie.
It is. Yeah. It's very subtle. But
Mrs.
those who know
LaRusso
what to
only
look for
knew
will see
what
it.
Daniel and Mr. Miyagi were doing that whole time.
Kind of gross now.
Yeah, gross.
Thanks, Garrick, for
Thanks. Gross.
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
that. Thank you for ruining everything.
Yeah.
There's also
Ever.
the Congress of the Crow.
I thought you said you only knew 4.
I lied. I
I'm
really know a lot.
He knows them all.
I'm guessing you did a Google search.
No. Why would I do that?
Bing?
Why would
Use Bing, don't
It's
you?
all up here, baby.
I do.
All up here.
all Bing, baby? Yeah. So anyway, we had some comics come out
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
that may or may not included some Kama Sutra within the pages.
It better.
But probably not. Most likely not. Because they were Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
Not that smutty stuff you guys read. Yeah. So we had a little Star Wars number 56. Dr. Aphra.
Well, there's
Number
one.
26.
Dr. A, baby.
Yeah. And of course, Vader. Closing down the Vader arc, slowly inching our way toward the end.
Fades.
Number 23.
Fades.
23, the magic number.
Yeah,
It makes me so
magic
sad.
number.
I'm so sad.
That was Michael Jordan, right? He was 23.
Yep.
He was
Right?
number 23. You're so
He was
right.
32. You remember 32?
Yeah, for that short time where he couldn't wear 23.
Because he was banned from
Yeah,
things.
who knows?
Yeah. He was doing the gambling.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 He was,
Anyway.
they called him the gambler.
I think it was 45.
They wrote a song about him.
Yes.
Yeah. He knew when to hold them. But he
I
did
don't
not know
know.
when to fold them.
Yeah, I
Because
don't
he
think
got
he
caught.
did know that. Yeah.
He got caught holding. So, yeah, there you go. Lessons from Michael Jordan.
Him and Lando.
Don't gamble and get caught.
Just
There
don't
you go.
get caught.
You lose your Falcon. If
Right,
you do.
Pete Rose? Don't get caught.
Yeah, come on, Pete Rose.
Come on, Mr. Rose.
Yeah. So Star Wars 52 came out.
52. 56?
56. Sorry.
56, yeah.
56.
Yeah.
86.
Yeah. The Escape Part 1. Yeah. So after
this is the last
previous
comic,
arc,
right?
where the Darth Vader
Trios is
pretty much
back,
creamed the rebel fleet, they all escaped.
Yeah, he did.
And now
good
this
stuff.
is the end of their escape, and they hook up with Sana Solo, or Sana Staros, as her real name is. But
Word.
Yeah. So this is they're trying to escape back to somewhere where they can meet up with the rebel fleet again, and maybe hopefully strike back. Huh?
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, they're trying to get back to the rebel fleet, but they find gets in some Imperial entanglements, and they get crashed on a planet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty good issue. I mean, it's a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, but it's all good stuff.
I love the stormtrooper walking around with the hologram. Have you seen these three? And they're like under the table.
Yeah, and Sana's like, no, totally haven't seen those.
Totes not. No, not so much.
Nope, never. Yeah, so it's a good issue. I love the art. I think Salvador LaRocca did not do the art on this. They actually went with a new artist, Andrea Brocardo, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Keep saying because I don't know. I don't
know.
Is this
you
wrong
can't
one?
you can't do it if you don't know.
Oh, there it is.
I'm not
With
Mike.
Garrick.
I'm not Mike. Oh,
But I totes agree. The art's great on this, man.
yeah, I love
Actually,
it.
I like the colorist.
Yeah,
Did a good job on this too.
everything. I liked it. I was worried about the new artist, but now that I'm seeing it, I'm no longer worried. Very nice. I like the framing and they captured the characters well, and good stuff.
What? I don't mind a good dialogue heavy comic too.
Yeah.
It actually takes you somewhere, and not all of them do. Some of the I've told you guys I read the Back to the Future comics, and some of those are kind of hit and miss, and some of those would get really dialogue heavy, and you're like going nowhere. So it's nice when you get a comic that's got a good story behind it, and I'm totally faking this, by the way, because I haven't read the comic, so I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this dialogue.
The dialogue is great, especially when the writer really can capture Han's dialogue really well.
That's hard to do, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Not everybody can hit that.
He has a smug cockiness to him, and he's so sure of everything, even though like he's not at all sure of himself. And his and Sana's interactions together are great, because she's just
as
see right through
sarcastic
him.
as him. Yeah,
yeah, she sees right through all his crap and calls him out on it. And he's like, "No, it'll work. I swear." Yeah.
Is that a half Millennium Falcon?
that is
that's
Sana's ship. Yeah.
It's like half of one.
Yeah. She doesn't
It's
need
got
a
the
whole
cockpit
one.
in the middle, dude.
She doesn't have a Wookiee. She has to cart around with her, so she doesn't need a whole Millennium Falcon.
Just half
Yeah,
Millennium.
come on, man.
Falcon.
Get it together.
What was I thinking?
Yeah. So the next issue cover is pretty awesome, because it's that classic painting. What's that painting called with the farmer and his wife?
Yeah. Oh, I love
The
that.
farm and the wife painting?
Yeah, the farmer and the wife painting.
That is amazeballs.
That's pretty awesome.
I know.
That's one of them that you frame and put on your wall.
Yeah, it's American Gothic. That's what it was. This is like the American Gothic with Han and Leia, and he's holding a pitchfork and everything.
They're standing in front of a
Is that a vibro pitchfork?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's a
It's got wires coming. It probably shoots lasers too. It's a laser pitchfork. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what that's all about.
Well, thank God they're still doing the main title. I don't know what I would do.
I don't know if they could ever end it. I mean,
They better not.
They'll have to, I don't know if they'll have to.
Do you think at some point they're going to jump to a different part of the timeline, or do you think they're just going to keep telling these stories?
If I had to guess, I would guess after episode 9 comes out, maybe.
Yeah.
they would
they're
skip
gonna move
forward
around a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for them to hit Empire and then start stories, from after Empire. Because, I mean, they've been doing this, between 4 and 5 since Force Awakens. So, I don't know. I'm kind of itching for something new.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And they're running out of real estate, like you said, before Empire. So we'll see.
Word. Yeah. And these stories have been great, man. I've really done. I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, there's a lot of new. I mean, you got the movies and the TV shows, and you got a lot of stuff. But I really feel like that the comics have not only held their own, but almost are my favorite part right now of the stuff that's happening outside of the movies.
And the best part is they're taking more risks in the comics. Like they're killing off characters that were in the movies.
Yes,
like we've mentioned in past podcasts.
Before they were even in the movie,
not even killing off people. Like I think you're referring to Dodonna, but. Well, actually, they killed off the guy from Draven from Rogue One as well. But
Boss.
Draven. No,
he died.
He died in the movie, bud. Right?
Who died in the comic? It doesn't matter.
Dodonna has died.
Yeah,
and the General Draven. Yeah, from Rogue One, the guy that was a-hole.
Yeah.
Anyway, good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. And so, check that out. So also came out Dr. Aphra, number 26. And we get a new artist on this one, too.
Ooh.
Yeah, one Emilio
Estevez.
All right. I'm reserving judgment because I haven't read this one yet either.
Emilio!
All right, let's pop in. Let's take a look.
Yeah, so the art is quite different than the past takes on Aphra.
I like the cover, actually.
Yeah, the cover's amazing. Awesome. That's a different artist. That's I
know, it
cover
usually
artist.
Is, right.
Ashley Witter. And she does a great job.
Yeah,
or he. I don't know. Ashley could be a boy or a girl's name.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I love it.
This, if you remember from last issue, we have Dr. Evas On and Ponda Baba are back. And they have implanted explosive devices in Dr. Aphra and 000. And if one of them dies, the other one blows up. Or if they leave with a certain radius from each other, they both also blow up.
Ooh.
And so now they're on a planet trying to find somebody to remove these devices from them. And the great part is that Dr. Evas On installed a looking and listening device in 000. So he and Ponda Baba are just sitting on the sofa with like nachos and beer, like watching this all unfold.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like Evas On's got his arm around Ponda Baba, just like, hey, check this out. They're just like watching TV on some Saturday night.
I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah. This is great. They're totally going to explode into guts. It's going to be... Yeah, so I love the aspect of, like, you don't see this in Star Wars. There's two dudes sitting on a sofa watching some stuff unfold.
That's good.
And a lot of stuff unfolds in this. Aphra and 000 obviously do not get along because they both want to kill each other. So they're having to work together using their own different methods. Aphra's more of the sneak around without being noticed kind of person, and 000 is more like, I'm just going to kill everyone just because I can, kind of droid. So yeah, they end up they end up going to get the devices which taken out, and they actually don't, and they end up tripping a fail-safe mechanism that only gives them a time limit now before they explode. And the only person that could possibly remove it, 000 has accidentally killed. Yeah,
of course
so they got 10 hours now before they both blow up. And it's funny when the doctor, the guy they paid to take these devices out of him, said, knocked them out and said, okay, when you wake up, they'll be gone. So they woke up and they're gone. And then as soon as they wake up, Aphra realizes that something's wrong. And Dr. Evas On and Ponda Baba are like cheering like this. Someone just scored a touchdown on the sofa. Yeah, they're going to explode. Yeah, so I love this comic. I mean, Dr. Aphra, for an original character, is, and just to keep keep this running this long is just an amazing feat.
It is.
And every comic is enjoyable, and I love it. I love the story.
I've really been crossing my fingers that we're not going to hear an announcement that they're going to keep this going, because it's a great character. You're right. It's completely original. I love the murder bots.
Yes.
I don't know. There's been very few issues that I was, like, and that didn't live up to expectation. I've loved almost all of these. Now, you're right, though. The artist on the art's actually overall pretty good.
Yeah.
It seems like he or she can't decide how to capture Afra's face, though.
Yeah, there's
like some
angles.
Panels. Yeah, some panels look really good, and then other ones look strange. So
yeah, I agree. It seems like the farther along you get, the better it starts getting. I think the artist kind of settled into, okay, this is the look I'm going for. Right. Now I know what I want. I'm sticking with it, and I'm not going back and fixing it. One take. That's it. Yeah.
First try.
First try. I don't have an eraser. I ran out. So yeah, good stuff.
Cool.
So check those out.
Please don't go away. Please keep making.
Yeah, we love you, Afra.
Please don't go. Please don't go.
And finally, up my pick of the week.
Oh.
Also, the next one in order: Star Wars, Darth Vader. Michael Jordan's number. Yeah, that came out.
We're getting close, aren't we?
Oh man, it sucks because it's getting so good. So if you remember from past episodes, or if you've been reading the comic, or maybe if you're just tuning in for the first time, this arc takes place on Mustafar, and it's telling the story of how and why Vader built his castle there. And it's pretty cool. So we got this Sith entity that's inhabiting a helmet named Lord Momin. And he's kind of helping Vader construct this castle because Mustafar is an entry point into the time, the space between space that we saw in a few episodes of Rebels.
You're right.
Where you can manipulate time, pull people out of the timeline, and basically do whatever you want in time and space. And so Vader's trying to pull Padme out and rescue her. And I think that's his ultimate goal. And Momin's trying to help him build this castle as a key to get into this space in between space. So they go through several iterations of this castle throughout the issue. And it's great. Like, they don't explicitly show this except for the first time. Momin fails and the castle just explodes. So the Momin helmet will possess a body that it's been placed on, and Momin will become that person. And so every time Momin fails, Vader, it doesn't show Vader killing that person, but it shows several panels where the body of that's wearing the helmet is clearly different than the previous panel.
Right. So
I love that subtle unwritten, like, oh yeah, it's a stormtrooper. Oh, now it's a lady officer. Oh, now it's like a weird beast with crazy eyes and jowls. And then it's like some sort of, and then it's back to an officer again. I think that was a cool, subtle thing. And he keeps going through these different iterations of Vader's castle, trying to get it just right so he can open that portal. And then finally he gets to the 9th iteration, and Vader's like, there will be no 10th. This is it. If it doesn't work, well, screw you. And he ends up opening a portal into the space between space. And this scene is just incredible. He just rips open the fabric of space-time, I guess, using this dark force energy. And it's it's this incredible shot of his helmet being lit up by whatever's beyond the curtain, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then just as he's about to step in, his Imperial officers and troops let him know that the castle's under attack and they need his help or else it's going to fall. So he has to immediately close it and help his peons repel this attack. And whilst he's doing that, Momin sneaks in and pulls his own body out from the past.
Whoa!
And puts the helmet back on.
What?
Yeah, so he literally pulled himself out and is possessing himself with himself.
Hello,
guess.
me.
Yeah, hello, me.
It's me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this comic is insane.
That's cool.
I don't like time travel in Star Wars, but somehow this works for me. And I don't know why.
And I like how because I like how they're doing it. It's kind of an original take on this.
Yeah, it's like
and I love Vader's obsession with this too.
Yeah, like his whole point is to try to get Padme back from death. Right. And that's been his whole goal this entire, all through the prequels. Well, I guess not all through. Up until he met Padme, he wanted to either protect her or save her from death.
Right.
Yeah. So, that's awesome that they're weaving that thread in all the way through Vader's beginning. Because this is Vader's origin story, basically. This is like year one Vader right now. Just a reminder of the time frame. So he's still obviously obsessed with getting Padme back. So yeah,
I love this. I love the cover for the next issue too, man.
Oh yeah,
just on the helmet on fire and man, that's good stuff, man. I'm digging it.
I love this comic.
Chain link is broken.
What?
Amazing. Yep.
Oh, he's gonna lose.
Well,
his
just
cape,
have to take
man.
my word for it.
No, but I also love the tie-in to, the space between time, the rebels.
We've
and
rebels
all that
in
stuff.
there.
Yeah, man, I love it. I've said it over and over. I love it when the authors of these, of these pieces, these works, care enough to do that. I mean, it means something.
It's awesome.
So, it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think that's what we've been worried about with the movies and everything and the books.
Right.
They all seem kind of disjointed. When at the beginning, they all seem kind of disjointed.
Right.
But now that we're so many years in, everything's starting to be
you got people that have enough now to work with to actually start weaving the bigger picture, and that's the exciting stuff for me. That's the stuff I loved about the old legends. We talked about Kevin J. Anderson last week. And why he was a favorite author, because he was one of those handful of people with the old legends that cared about weaving that big tapestry. And like what you're saying now is that now authors have enough material to work with. It's been 3-4 years since Force Awakens came out. We have enough material now to start weaving that tapestry, and it's getting exciting for me. So that's cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's impressive, yeah, and it almost to some extent seems like it's even more cohesive than the old canon used to be.
Sure. Oh yeah, the old canon. I mean, back then, it was just
like the comics,
a couple of stories and
made no sense, right?
No, right, completely. Yeah. They're fun to go look back at just for nostalgia reasons, but there's barely any cohesion there. So
so I like it. I know we have harped on it that we were afraid of it, but I'm it's starting to come together. And
it is.
If you're not into comics or the books, now is a great time to start reading the past. Now that all these like collector's editions and
the trade paperbacks and
thank you, trade paperbacks are out. Now is a good time to get into it and see what you're missing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, so Star Wars Resistance came out, and I guess what I said I wasn't going to review it. I guess a few people maybe got a little upset, or some people are happy maybe. But Sancho Panda was good enough to bring together the Glee Club.
Yeah, he did.
So to save me from having to review it, he got them together to do musical reviews of the episodes.
Oh,
musical reviews?
Musical reviews. And because Star Wars Resistance to us is more of a Saturday morning cartoon, it only made sense to make those musical numbers set to famous Saturday night cartoon intro music.
Nice. I'm digging it.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So Howie, if you will.
Yes.
Without further ado,
let's go back to Star Wars Resistance Episode 1. And let's give that a little musical review by Sancho Panda. Hit that button.
Stranded in space until Poe came along and he saved my hide. I saw Leia's face and my urge to join up was amplified. And I begged to help out, though my dad won't let me choose a side. Now I'm in a dumb race, so I'll blend in on Deep Space Nine. Poe positioned me to be the new Resistance spy. No one suspects me, 'cause I'm a really goofy guy. Poe positioned me to see what the First Order do. We'll have to wait and see. Probably won't be a season 2. Probably not.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
Yeah. It's like that was younger listeners might not know, but that, and I didn't because I'm a young guy, you know.
Pole position.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
man.
pole position, the
Yeah.
ancient cartoon.
Yeah, it wasn't
Ancient.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's old even for me.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is
Yeah.
amazing.
So that was basically, I thought, dead on for the premiere episodes 1 and 2.
Especially
Star
with
Wars
the ending.
Resistance.
That was pretty dead on.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
So we got more of these?
Yeah. So episode
digging
3.
in?
We got one for episode 3 of Star Wars Resistance. So Howie,
Nice.
Take it away.
Do
hit
it.
the button. Zoo.
Kazuda Resistance Shiono Kazuda Shiono Kaz begins to spaz when the pirates start their hit, and he feeds back screechy jazz into their helmets and they split. But no one notices.
Nice.
Yeah, so of course,
Well done.
set to the tune of the epic cartoon Tailspin.
Yep.
Guys,
Yep,
remember
yep.
Tailspin?
I do.
Baloo?
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
Kit-
of Funko Pops of Tailspin
Kit
right
Cloud Kicker with his airboard.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah. So that was episode 2. Episode 3 of Resistance.
It was. Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
We need
Good.
more of that, Sancho.
Yeah. Well, he's happy
Bring
to
'em, baby.
provide.
Bring them, baby.
Yeah, maybe we'll have some later. We'll see. Hmm?
Yeah.
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 What we got to talk to HR. What do we got to do? What do we got to do
Yeah.
to get more of these?
Oh, I'll talk to him. We'll get our agent Papa on the phone.
You know,
We
Papa?
can't offer him money.
Popo?
But maybe we can pay him double than what he's making.
Yes.
So, tell him we'll
200% raise.
pay double of 0. Yep.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, if they make more, maybe Sancho can be on the podcast again.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
what
agree.
we need.
Totally. So guys,
Yes.
I managed, and you don't know how impressive of a feat this was,
Really?
but I managed
Yeah.
to get my hands on a copy
Yeah.
of Women of the Galaxy
Oh, really?
by Amy Ratcliffe. Yes.
Yeah, friend of the show, Amy.
You
Awesome.
don't know what I had to do to go through this.
Really?
I really don't want to tell
That
you.
rough?
How many buttons did you have to click?
Could not be that rough.
I had to do some things I wasn't proud of, but I got it.
We've all done things.
I
we're not
have it
proud
in
of.
my hands right
Nice.
now.
I can't see it, so I don't believe you.
Oh, well, shut up, Howie. It's here. I swear. So I didn't know that. Okay, so I've been reading this, and I didn't know the foreword was actually by Kathleen Kennedy. Did we talk
Even,
about
though,
that?
even though
Yeah.
we said
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
We did say
2
that,
weeks
but
ago,
yes,
Well,
KK.
That was 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember that far back. And it's great because the dedication is for Carrie Fisher. So I found that
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah.
nice.
And when I didn't know what to, I knew this was, some snippets about women in the Star Wars universe, but I didn't realize how in depth this book goes, because it's not just like women from the movies. It's not just women from the novels, and it's not just women from the cartoons. It goes into the comics. It goes into, I think, some of the video games.
Wow.
It goes deep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hoping to pick this up
How
too.
deep, my friend?
How deep? Well, let me tell you, they have Sana Staros in here.
Nice.
From the comics. And they even have characters from the new cartoon Star Wars Resistance in here.
Okay.
Which I don't know how, because I thought this book came out like a week after that aired, but
okay, man. But do they have Mara Jade?
That's all really that we're asking.
That's all I need to know.
No, they don't have Mara J, because she's not
canon.
It's only canon
character.
only. Canon only. Sorry,
I'm
man.
not buying it. Just kidding.
They have Ula.
Yeah, they do.
She put Ula in here.
Well,
I
of course
Ula.
she had to.
Yeah. They have Padme's handmaidens. Yeah.
Oh, Sabe. And
Yeah. You
the
like
others.
that? They have trios from the
Keira Knightley.
Darth Vader comic in here. So this is really cool. Like the art in here is pretty impressive. They have several different artists that have worked on this, and I love it. They have all the way like from paintings to photorealistic type looking pictures to even comic-y looking pictures. And I will say, if people should pick up this book because it's very impressive. And the detail and the research on each page for explaining why these women matter in the galaxy is insane. Like she must had to have read every canon thing ever in order to get some of these details in, because there's stuff I'd never even heard of. And
deep cuts, huh? Deep cuts.
Yeah. Nice. So if you want this now, you can go out on Amazon. And I don't know if this price will still be available, but I got my copy.
As of recording night.
As of recording for $20 on Amazon.com. And yeah, definitely pick this up. Because it's not just for women. It's for anyone that's interested in Star Wars. Anyone. So.
I was going to say, I mean, it has piqued my interest. I have not jumped out and bought it yet.
Yeah, the layout itself.
I was thinking about buying it for my daughter, but the more I've looked through it, I'm just like, shoot, I want it on my shelf.
Yeah, the layout is amazing. It has the character's name in bold, and then right under their name, it has their name again in Arabesh.
Yeah,
so I thought that was a cool touch.
Yeah, very cool.
And then it has a quote or some sort of description of the character, and then. Like either a 1 page all the way up to a 4-page description of the character and how that character impacted the galaxy, and where they're from. So people that aren't too steeped in the lore in the expanded universe won't be lost, because it tells you clearly where this person was from, and then it might even get you interested in checking out that source material as well, which is always good. Yeah. Yeah, check it out,
man.
It's really good.
I'm glad you got it, because I have been interested, and now with your review of it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's like 200 pages of awesome
for $20 too. I mean, you can't beat that price,
and it's hardcover, and it's well bound. Comes with a dust jacket, Mike.
Nice.
A dust jacket.
The dust jacket.
Can you believe it?
Even a dust jacket?
A dust jacket. To keep your book from getting dusty.
And, of course, congratulations to Amy, too.
Absolutely.
This is a great accomplishment for her. So I know she works for the Nerdist and has contributed to StarWars.com and all that good stuff. So, but I think this is her first foray into a project of this magnitude, so that's neat. We're very happy for her and congratulate her for sure.
Oh yeah, she's got a great 2-page forward in there from herself explaining why and how she came to do this book. So it's very cool to read that. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, do yourself
stuff.
a favor and pick it up.
Go get it now while supplies are hot.
Oh, get it now.
Do it. Or I'll punch you in the neck. That'll show them.
Yeah.
Punch.
Well, is that all we got for reviews?
That's it, dude.
All right. Well, then, is Porkins guy here?
I don't know.
I haven't seen him yet. Why don't you do the music? We'll see if he shows
All
up.
right. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Again?
Hello?
Do it again. Again. You gotta say it again 3 times. He shows up.
oh,
It's like
Well, wait.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, wait, what?
Uh-oh. What's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, boy. Hello. Grand Moff Tarkin here.
Oh, he's
Did
back.
you know Luke's mom almost didn't die when I Death Starred Alderaan? You see, Mark Hamill suggested that Luke's mom actually be one Boba Fett, and she was just in disguise in order to get close to Vader. Seems like that would make you wonder, who had she been going around disintegrating all this time, doesn't it? I'd swipe right on that. You may fire when ready.
Yeah, Hamill was talking about that on Twitter this week, wasn't he?
Hamill.
Saw that. Yeah, man.
The hams?
Yeah, man.
Hams?
M.
Ham
Hams.
hams?
He did. He talked about that very thing.
The ham bone?
Yeah. Somebody asked him
connected
about
to
it, and he
prime
gave
rib
that
bone?
story and
Prime rib bone.
basically said he suggested it to Lucas, and Lucas just kind of was like, just kind of looked at him with that Lucas look and went about his business.
Did he take the yellow marker or the pink marker?
He took the
I
yellow
think he
marker
took-
and just
he took
wiped it on his
no
face.
marker.
He just X'd out his face.
You got the liquid paper and
I think M. Ham's got his normal treatment from Lucas, which is pat him on the head and say, next line, please.
That'll do, ham. That'll do.
That'll do.
that'll be pig. He called him pig. That's where it came from.
All right. Well, you guys ready for some deep diving?
Oh, I'm always ready for deep.
Yep, for your mom.
Let's do it, baby.
Yeah.
Deep dive into Garrick's mom. Well, boys,
Yes, boys.
this week, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Simon Pegg was on a podcast, and when Simon gets on a podcast, for those who don't know, by the way, Simon is good buddies with JJ, and actually had a role in The Force Awakens. He was
What?
the big alien dude on Jakku that
Ungar Plut?
Unkar Plut. Yep.
Yeah.
And anyway, so when Simon's very opinionated when it comes to Star Wars, and famously was actually very critical of the prequels and all that good stuff. And actually, he was on a podcast this week and made a couple of comments, said something to the effect of, "Boy, geez, I really, you know what the sequel trilogy is missing? It's a little
What's
George
that?
Lucas, a little touch of George." Which was kind
what
of
I'm
funny,
saying.
especially with how hard he was on the prequels. But sounds like he's kind of come full circle. Actually, which isn't. We've talked about. I think we talked about this last week a little bit. Actually, for the last few weeks, there's kind of been a nostalgia thing for the prequels here lately, and people coming to a new appreciation, I think. And so, anyway, I just thought it was interesting that he brought this up. And even though I don't think he really called out Last Jedi directly, but I think that's kind of where his comments were kind of pointing to. And he's actually said things in the past. Here a few months ago, he was quoted as saying something to the effect of that, well, actually, JJ had something else in mind for Rey's parentage. So, of course, like I said, Simon kind of giving his opinion about things. So, I don't know, a lot of people taking it that maybe he didn't take to Last Jedi as
And you got him for our podcast,
positively.
right? He's here right now?
He's
the
not
studio?
here right now, but we're working on it.
Mike.
I'll just leave it there. We're working on it.
Oh, good. As long as you're working on it.
So anyway, I guess with that in mind and these comments that he's made this week, I just kind of wanted to pose a question to you guys. With him talking about race parentage, and maybe JJ had a different thought in that regard. It really looks like JJ, and we've known this since the beginning, but JJ's kind of got his hands full with this. I mean, there's been some criticism of Last Jedi, and a lot of people feel like, and I'm among that number, that really Lucasfilm didn't have a unified vision for this. They were really, the approach they were taking was, we're just going to get 3 different filmmakers and they're just going to kind of take their approach. And I think and again, I'm among that number. Some of us didn't like the fact that there wasn't kind of an overarching story. So given that kind of background, how does JJ approach episode 9 and make it palatable and kind of bring this thing full circle and make it a satisfying how does he make this a satisfying ending to the Skywalker saga? Because that's how they're billing this movie, is the end of the Skywalker saga.
Well, what he does is he goes to Return of the Jedi, the script. He hits Control C and he goes over to the script.
Stop.
For episode 9, he hits Control V, and then he hits Control F and types in Ewoks, and then hits replace all with Wookiees, and then saves it, and then emails it to KK.
The end.
Yep. No, I kid. He would never do that.
But you know what, though, man? I maybe you're not far off, because JJ's not exactly known for story.
Well, maybe he's out to prove you wrong, Mike.
I hope he is.
Maybe
Honestly,
he's
he got the Bats versus Soups writer, so.
Oh yeah.
Don't remind me.
So Martha's everywhere. There's the whole planet's going to be called Martha, and it's going to be a living planet, and it's going to be the progenitor of the entire universe.
Yeah. Okay, almost from day one, when Ep 7 was announced, we said JJ Abrams is good at look and feel, but story, And I think a lot of people feel like, even though Force Awakens was hugely successful, and I think generally all of us see it in a very positive light, the criticism, I understand the criticism. It was very New Hope-like, and it was very... we had another Death Star, and we had another cantina, and we had another desert planet and all that stuff. So I get those criticisms, but I felt like it was a good launching pad, and I think that movie was good for him. But is he the kind of filmmaker? I mean, has he shown you anything that suggests that he can bring this full circle and make this a satisfying story?
No, I haven't seen anything yet. Except for that one picture. Will that one picture give me hope? Maybe. Remember that one picture?
Did it say New Hope?
No. From episode, they had one picture leaked from episode 9, at least that I know of. I'm sure there's more.
There was a studio one with the Jedi seal or something on the floor.
Yeah, but there's that one where there was a horse, and there was like Poe and Finn were out there.
Yes.
Oh, spoilers. Okay. Sorry.
I do remember that.
Sorry, everybody. Right. Poe and Finn are in the next...
This is spoiler cast.
Yeah, you're right. They're in the next movie. Poe and Finn are. At least at one point, they're together. But it looked like a grass planet, like a plane, had like a Great Plains type planet. Right. That was interesting. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
I don't know. I feel like personally, I mean, because we do know through, Daisy Ridley in an interview mentioned several months back when Last Jedi was released that actually JJ had a treatment for Ep 8 and 9. Like he actually did put an overarching story together, and she is the one that actually came out and said that yes, when Ryan saw it, he pretty much just threw it in the trash and said, nope, I'm starting from scratch. So from Daisy Ridley, that's where we got that story. So we know that again, that the filmmakers were kind of doing their own thing. Now, JJ still got that treatment though, right? I mean, so,
yeah,
despite
totally.
what RJ has done. I mean, he could tailor his overarching story to what RJ did, and still bring this full circle. And that's where I'm a little encouraged. Yeah, because I feel like when Colin Trevorrow was there, he was in a bad position from day one. Because he's got all the stuff that JJ set up and RJ set up, and he was trying to bring it full circle, and he really didn't have a treatment. But at least JJ kind of had, a path that he was walking. So, I felt like since we got the announcement that JJ was going to be back on this film, that okay, well, if anybody can do this, it's going to be him. I don't know. I kind of feel that way. I don't know how you guys.
I mean, it'll be uniform with the first one, that's for sure. So it'll feel kind of like the Indiana Jones saga, or I get trilogy, because I'm not going to count the last one. Like the first and third one had kind of like a uniform feel.
I agree.
Not to discourage Temple of Doom. I mean, it was a good movie, but it felt different
in its own right. But it did. It felt very different. It had a very different feel to it. So
a different pace, different locale, no Nazis. Right. Yeah, very different. Right. So I wonder if it's going to be something like that, where people can still like the middle one. Like, not everybody likes Temple of Doom. Some people hate it.
True. That's absolutely
some people
true.
think it's the best one of the three. I'm not one of those, and that's fine because I like the first and third one. But I'm hoping it's something like that. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is what happened to our heroes at one point, but now we're back to this story that kind of mimics the first one, or kind of ends the first film.
So I've explained, why I think that he could be the right answer here, but then there's going to be the critics, right, that say like, well, look at Lost. I mean, that thing was like a train wreck, right? I mean, they had a great premise and they got it off, but then when they decide, some people would say
I only saw the first 4 episodes, and it was about a plane crash. Did it go anywhere from there?
Honestly, I don't know, because I never watched it. I can tell you my wife loved that series, but even she will admit that it was they got off to a great start, but it felt like that, once it was a hit and they had to do more seasons, like they didn't have like a landing spot. So it kind of didn't feel satisfying when they got to the end of that. And so that's the criticism, I guess, of JJ, is that he's not one for story, like to tell a full story. So I don't know what to believe, I guess.
He just falls off the end at the end. He's like, we'll just end it somehow. We'll have a crazy CGI monster come
I'm just sitting here trying to think how I don't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, I mean,
it feels like anything that you do would be either, seen as, like you're trying to just stick it to Rian Johnson, or you're going down a path that may not make sense, or I just don't know, or it just seems so out there that you're like, okay, well, that was weird.
See, I agree 100%, because you're right. The people that I know, I put the internet aside, because on the internet you've got the lovers and the haters, and there's just no middle ground at all. So I'm thinking more of the people that I know here locally that really love that movie and why they love it and all that stuff. And a lot of it was the reasons that they cite was that, RJ was subversive and it was surprising and it was new and the franchise needed that to go in, to go into the future and all that stuff, which I disagree with all that stuff personally. But I mean, there's definitely a love there for among a certain segment of the fan base that really love that movie. So I kind of going down what you're saying is that, does JJ go with his gut and bring this back around to what his original vision was,
but
and
might
bring it to an end?
Risk the look of it being, like you're just being childish.
Yes. And pissing off people that really, really enjoyed RJ's version of this. See, and again, and I go back to the criticism of, to me, this falls on KK, because she's, the top of the ladder there. But this is the shit you get into when you don't have a unified vision for this. I just really, really feel like that there should have been, that whoever did it, whether it was all, 2 or 3 filmmakers or just one or whoever, that there needed to be an outline, for, okay, this is our starting point and this is our landing point. Now you guys fill in the blanks. And they just didn't do that. And I just think that they set these filmmakers up for failure, for lack of a better word.
I mean, yeah, and really, I'm surprised JJ took this on. So I feel like there's some kind of back deal that was there. But
RJ failed. I mean, it was moderately successful.
No, it was absolutely successful. Here's the thing about JJ or RJ, at least from my perspective, I don't blame him for any of this because I think he did exactly what he was told he could do. I feel like KK came to him, Lucasfilm came to him and said, okay, make a movie and you can make it your way. And we're going to give you a lot of leeway. And by all accounts, it was, everybody loved working with him and there was no drama on his set and everything else. So even though I very much dislike The Last Jedi, I don't put much blame on him because I feel like he did what he was given the task to do.
I mean, so to put in perspective, I guess it's kind of like if you go to somebody's house, they're going to have like a dinner. You can either tell them what you will eat or let them choose what you will eat.
Sure.
And so it's like I went to Ryan Johnson's house and he decided to serve like coleslaw and curry. And I was just like, well, some people love those two things. Actually, like millions and millions of people all around the world love that stuff.
Right.
But personally, coleslaw makes me want to vomit. and curry's just so spicy it makes me want to die. But people love that stuff. And
seriously,
I mean, if you there's a risk to just serving like mashed potatoes and that's it. Which I guess you get with JJ.
Yeah, right.
You're going to please everybody because not many people hate mashed potatoes.
Well, that's the thing is, you could go You can go a safe route. I'm not sure what that exactly looks like, but you could go a very safe route. But it'll seem very vanilla.
Cake. Everybody loves cake. Chocolate chip cookies.
It won't seem exciting, and I think one of the great things about both the original trilogy and F3 was they were kind of very exciting ends to the trilogies,
right?
That they represent, and so if you go safe and vanilla, it's not going to be that. It's going to be that was a movie,
right?
You did the best you could.
I don't envy him. I don't envy him at all with this task.
So if you start breaking out into something more exciting, then you're risking, because of how everything's played out, you're risking upsetting one of two groups of people that I'm just.
And I guess at some point he's just going to have to pick a path and go down it. It is what it is. So
no matter what comes out of this, I'm not going to blame JJ for anything.
No,
if he comes out with an amazing movie, then I'm like, well, good on you.
And I'll tell you what, that's why I'm not going in with high expectations. I'm just not. I guess in the back of my mind, I'm hoping, that I'll be pleasantly surprised, but this is such a monumental task, in my opinion, to bring this full circle and to satisfy the greatest number of people, because you're never going to satisfy everybody.
No,
it's just never going to happen. So, but how do you get the largest group of people possible to be satisfied with what you do here? And I don't know. It's tough. They, in my opinion, they made a couple of wrong turns.
This is definitely, it's one of those things where you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you're like, this is just terrible. And it's not any one person. It's just run terribly. It's management is the problem, and that's what I feel like has been with these. It's and it's really, I don't understand how you can have a treatment like what JJ did and then go so far away from it. It feels. I mean, I'm assuming that that's management.
Well, I mean, totally. But that's, I mean, in retrospect now, in hindsight, knowing what we know now, that's Ryan Johnson's MO. I mean, we've heard interviews with him, from years ago saying that, he feels like he's done his job if he displeases half of his audience. Because to him, that's an exciting thing. If at the end of the day, people are talking about his movie or whatnot. Now, I don't think he was ready for the kind of divisiveness that this brought after Last Jedi. But I mean, that they should have known that, I guess, going in that's what he was going to do.
It must have been that's what they wanted for some reason.
Well, again, I really feel like KK's vision for this, first off, and I think we said this before, I don't think she really cares about story and characters and all that stuff. She is a competent businesswoman, but I don't think she cares about Star Wars and Star Wars stories the way that George Lucas does. I mean, I think that's just a fact. So I'm not. That doesn't take away
on the business side,
right? That doesn't take anything away from her ability and competence.
That's not fair though, because you can't compare anybody to Lucas.
That's true. Yeah, but that's true.
I think one of the bigger mistakes is when Lucas was out, they didn't have a replacement that handled that part of the business.
Well, I felt like he thought she was competent enough to handle it, but I mean, there was never going to be anyone to be able to replace him in terms of the creative side of the business. So, but back to your point, she's just not that creative force. And I think her vision going into these movies was, I'm going to give the filmmakers their opportunity to go in and just make the movie that they want to make. I think she thought in her mind that was the best approach.
But that seems very, what do I want to say? You've been in the business long enough that seems like you would not have made that kind of a mistake.
Yeah,
you have to hire somebody. I mean, you're the business side. You're running the business of it all. You have to have some kind of a replacement that would come in and be able to, I'm going to run the story part of it.
Sure. Well, I think if we go way back to the very beginning, when they first talked to JJ, actually they wanted JJ to be involved with all three movies. And if you remember, famously, he said, I'll do one.
Right.
And that's it. So I think at that point, that's where they were forced to look at RJ. So maybe initially she did have, the sense and the wherewithal to say, okay, we want someone to come in here and kind of oversee the creative side of things. But once JJ, was like, nah, I'll do one.
I'm sure she's got tons of people in her ear.
Sure.
And maybe was convinced by...
at some point, she thought it was a good idea. I think in hindsight and retrospect,
it's so easy to talk about this in hindsight and say,
I know. Well, and here we are, a couple guys, 2-3 guys in a basement yapping about this. So I mean, these are just our opinions, but yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, other than waking up from a dream, what do you do with episode 9?
Yeah.
Well, I think first off, I mean, if we're going to dig into this a little bit, first off, you can't do the same thing where, RJ picked up right where the last one left off.
There's got to be at least 5 years in between.
Minimum, absolute minimum. I'd love to see 10 years.
Yeah, I would too. But it'd be hard to age everyone 10 years and make it
it'd be easier to say.
Believable. Sure.
Yeah. It's going to start off with Princess Leia's funeral.
Yeah, well,
that's how the movie's going to start.
You would think. I don't know. They said they're going to use footage. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
Flashbacks. Would have to be flashbacks then.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Flashbacks. That'd be cool.
That's the other. I don't know.
Bring in Maul.
Too much criticism.
Yeah, bring in Maul. Oh, he died. He's dead.
He's dead. Obi-Wan killed him.
Yeah, again.
But he's going to come back with a different head.
Ooh. Sith Ghost.
Hey,
we're going to have Jedi
the
Ghost.
Whole movie, the whole movie is taking place in the realm where the Force ghosts are
in between. The
in between.
Oh yeah. That's where they all hang out.
I don't think JJ has the balls to pull something like that off.
No, I don't think it would work well on the big screen either.
Honestly, I thought RJ. If anybody was gonna dick around with time and all that stuff, it was gonna be RJ. I was horribly mistaken.
maybe they'll do a Jeremy Bear Me.
Oh, Jeremy Bear.
So definitely they're going to start this minimum 5 years
Everybody
later.
should be watching The Good Place.
Yeah,
everybody.
By the way, if you're not watching The Good Place, you're in a bad place.
You are,
I don't know what that means.
You said too much already.
Oh, yeah.
It's a spoiler cast. Go ahead. Just spoil it all.
It's the best sitcom. Are they
I don't even know if it's a
anymore?
sitcom. What is it? It's like
what are comedies that are not sitcoms that are like 30-minute prime time?
Single camera. It's not even a drama. It's just like a comedy. I guess just a comedy, straight up comedy, supernatural comedy. There you go.
A supernatural comedy.
Yeah,
it's not a
with
situation
Ted
comedy.
Danson. And
learning to floss.
And he's dancing.
Floss.
Ted Danson is dancing.
Yep. Yeah. Anyways, back to.
So anyway,
crap we're
so
talking about.
F9, it definitely has to take place later. You got to assume that. I mean, Rey ran off with the books, so you got to assume that she's going to use the books, and that she becomes the teacher. She starts teaching the next generation.
I think the first question is Luke really dead? Which I think
absolutely. I don't think there's any question that Luke's dead.
He's not. He became one with the Force,
and the Force is with him.
He became more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Yes, but he is no longer with us in the physical. He is with us in the metaphysical.
Well, in a sense, he's more alive because he's life itself, Mike. Life itself.
What if Luke becomes the Force? What if he is the Force?
He is the Force.
See, I've told you, man. I really feel like if you wanted to give Luke his big moment, you should have done it in 8, because now that he's dead, that's gonna be one of the things that will disappoint me if suddenly he has this big monster moment. Where he, all powerful Jedi. It's like, well, he's friggin' dead, man. He already
passed the torch, man. Passed the Rey.
Right, exactly.
Don't diminish her coolness.
So this has to be a movie strictly about.
It's got to be Rey and Kylo. I mean, it's their story, right?
Yeah.
So
you got Rey, Kylo, and Poe, and
we killed off the old characters. So you got to do something with them. This movie's got to be mainly about them. You can't have this big Luke moment where he's going to usurp any of their mojo in this. In my opinion, you got to make this. You got to bring this to a close.
It'd be cool if she trained like some elite Jedi to go down and hunt the Knights of Ren. And they just like hunt them down. That'd be cool.
So this starts with her in some kind of training facility with.
I think that's what people are assuming. Which, again, I mean, he's got to address the Mary Sue thing. The fact that she's just been all powerful. She's absolutely a Mary Sue, dude. I mean, come on. So
is Luke.
No,
it's different, dude.
He grew up and he on a farm and he learned how to fly, bullseying womp rats in his T-16 back home, and flying through the canyon, all that stuff.
They used the Force to shoot a missile into a tiny hole.
Yeah, right. Yeah, with the help of his Jedi sage, she had none of that. Luke didn't train her, man. And Force Awakens.
That feather. Or leaf.
Okay, go back to Force Awakens, man. She literally had never flown a big starship like the Falcon and was an ace pilot.
She had experience on Jakku, bro.
Doing what?
Simulations. She flew simulations. It's in a book.
Swoop ops, man.
No, actually,
she cross-classed, but she dumped all her skill points.
I don't know how many people know this, but actually, I have heard or read somewhere that actually the idea that she
used her force point,
all her force abilities from when she was captured by Kylo Ren. And they had their little moment where she started calling him out, saying that, "Oh, I see inside you, and you're the one that's scared," and blah blah blah. That when that happened, essentially she downloaded all his force abilities into her brain, and that's why she can do.
Are they in the Matrix?
Supposedly, that's in the book.
Is she an agent? She Agent Smith.
Dude,
Or she Neo.
Come on,
No, she's Neo, right?
don't tell me she's not a Mary Sue because
I don't think so.
dude, totally, man. I mean, literally. So she's on Jakku one day, and the next day she's fighting a powerful Sith in a lightsaber battle and defeating him.
Botch.
Yeah, he botched. Did you not see his roll? He could barely beat Finn. And Finn's
He rolled
dumb.
6 ones.
They've got to address that issue. Why that?
Well,
why
he got
she is the way
shot
she
by a
is.
bowcaster. He's using all his forces to keep his stomach in.
That's true.
Those things do like 5d6.
The real question is Rey and Kylo going to get in bed together?
I know a lot of people think that's happening
Yeah,
too.
I'd watch that. Make little Jedi Sithy babies. That's how you bring balance to the Force.
And then they
Right
find
there.
out they're related.
Oh,
See, man, this gets
gross.
so convoluted.
Now you're getting
man.
gross, Howie.
Well, that's what you pay me for.
That's right. That's right.
All this gets so convoluted. It seems like the satisfactory end of this is
Everybody dies.
I don't know how he does it, man. I really don't. This is such a mystery to me. I know everybody's out there predicting and all this stuff, and I can't even begin to start predicting. I can get some of the basics.
Do you think we'll
like
get
we've
a
talked about?
You
but
think our first trailer will be at Celebration, or will they drop something like a teaser before that?
good question. When is that? April?
Yeah, April.
That seems reasonable.
Seems kind of late though, doesn't it?
Well, comparatively speaking, yeah, because during Force Awakens we had a trailer drop Thanksgiving weekend, right? Black Friday.
Are you saying we're getting one this weekend, Mike?
No, I
That's
am
what
not.
you're saying. I mean, last
we
week we
got
got one.
teasers, though.
We should have reviewed it.
Teasers, right?
We got a teaser. But it wasn't until the following, probably April, May, that we got an actual trailer, or at least a
If I
teaser.
remember correctly, the Solo official trailer came out a week before the movie, right? Is that how that broke down?
That's right.
At Target.
Yeah, you had to go to
boy.
Target to the electronics section to watch it.
I mean, if we're talking April, that's a full, 7 months before, 6-7 months before the movie's released. That still seems early.
I think they put it in April just so they could release the final trailer at Celebration.
They do a teaser at Celebration. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get our first.
They might really hold their
Indication at that point,
cards
but-
close.
They have. They totally have.
We don't even have a title yet. We're
No.
a little bit shy of a year out and we don't have a title. Kidding me?
The next Jedi.
The second to last Jedi.
Jedi next.
I like it.
Pentultimate Jedi.
Ooh, that rolls off the tongue. Right there.
Should be a book.
I think Lucasfilm was lucky that they got, the Cassian thing, and they got the Mandalorian and
I'm psyched for
Resistance
those.
and things to keep people off.
Movies
of
can suck it.
focusing on Ep9.
I'm all about the D play now.
I think they're going to keep this Ep9 stuff under wraps, under very close wraps until the last second.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to know much about it at all.
It's going to be a musical.
Rodgers
Yep.
and Hammerstein doing it?
Yep.
Yes. I hate to say it, guys, but I'm so not holding my breath for Ep9.
That's good because you'd
Just
probably
not.
die if you held your breath for over a year.
Well, and
Probably would.
this is, I'm not sure. I actually think this might be a bad thing that we're not getting any information from Ep9, really.
No, it's all good.
I think
Actually, I prefer it that way. I don't want to know anything until I walk into the
It's
theater.
weird we're not getting any like leaked pictures like we did last time where we saw the whole movie before it even came out.
I feel like nobody's excited about it because we're not getting anything on it. So they're all like,
Well, there's so much other exciting stuff going on with the TV shows, I feel
You think that drone
I think
guy's
that's where
out
the
there like,
focus is.
oh, I could totally get some Star Wars.
but no, I mean, like before we had tweets from JJ, with little pictures and snippets and
They should put bring Ron Howard in. He was posting pictures
I
like
know.
every day. Here's my lunch. Here's my shoe.
that stuff got me excited.
Here's a piece of trash I found on the curb. I'm throwing it away.
I'm like, yeah, Star Wars.
Oh, here's a Wookiee. Wait, a Wookiee? What? Wow.
Yep. Well, do we have anything more to say?
No, it just feels like like I said, I think JJ's got his hands full with this. And on a personal note, it's hard for me to get real excited, man. I hope I'm so wrong. I'm praying I'm so wrong. I'm praying I walk out of there and I'm just rejuvenated and super excited.
Well, and like you said, there's so many other things to be excited about right now that
right.
You don't feel like, you know, if you are of the mind of, I'm not sure what to expect, I'm going to kind of go with, you know, with a little bit of trepidation, you can just focus on these other things that are real, you know.
Well, at some point, and this is, I say this all the time, but it is what it is. And, you know, we're just going to have to live with whatever the end result is. And, you know, I've just come to that realization that, you know, there's other things that I like that's going on right now. You know, I'm real excited about Mandalorian and Cassian, and I'm excited about the comics. And, I mean, and the renewed fervor for the prequels. And I mean, so there's, you know, I'm not dying on the vine here just because of episode 9.
There's something for everybody.
There really is, man. So, you know, even if you're part of those people that just hate the sequel trilogies and want nothing to do with them, you still got your prequels and you still got your OT. I mean, you still got things to enjoy, so enjoy it. You know, don't be mad and grumpy.
Stop yo bitching.
Stop yo bitching.
Yeah,
that's right, man.
Be a Mike.
There's a little bit of something for everybody. Even Corey.
And that's what Garrick's mom said.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot for Corey.
Nothing for Corey?
No.
Nothing.
Well, boys. Speaking of nothing for Corey.
Yeah. Nothing at all.
We got anything else? Is that it?
Well, wait a minute.
Oh, wait, what?
Howie.
What?
You remember when you were asking if there were any more Resistance musical reviews?
Who was?
Do you want to go ahead and
is there another one on
check your soundboard and see maybe perhaps there's a third one?
Just appeared, just magically appeared.
I used the Force.
Oh,
I'm like
the
Ray.
Force is making me push this button.
Well, he mopes around the station when there's work left to be done, and he's a lazy, clumsy bum who turned Jar Jar into a fur. Then some strangers come along, offering him to have some fun. But tell me, where in the world did Cousin BB-8 go? Well, he's tricked into a life dead by a lookalike Val Kilmer, and he helps them steal some fuel, but he's still a decent guy. Then he saves this man from dying, but his crew is always wondering, tell me, where in the world did Cousin BB-8 go?
Nice.
You know what that one was? What the song that was a parody of?
No.
Perfect Strangers.
Yep. Everything. No, dude, it's Carmen Sandiego.
Oh,
there it is.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
The Warrant. Remember that show? It was a game show also. Remember the game show?
No.
Oh.
No.
Dang it.
It's because you're terrible.
Well,
But
boys, we better
stay
tie this
tuned.
one off.
We'll have some more
tie
of
it off.
those coming up in the future. He's talked to Sancho, and he's working on a little something featuring a certain cartoon that has certain chipmunks in it,
What?
and a mouse,
What?
and a fly,
Nice.
and a really hot-looking mouse that flies planes. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you do.
Launch plaid.
Yes, Launchpad. So hot. I like how his body's like really big, but his feet are his bottom half of his body's really tiny.
Yep.
That's the best.
Well, stay tuned for more from Sancho and
Sanchi
Sanchi.
Pandi.
Sancho, what a oh no.
With everybody.
It had to happen.
Sancho Panda.
Nailed it.
Anyway, from him and the Glee Club.
Googly Club.
The Glee Club.
Have you been drinking?
I have. Not enough, though. Still not enough.
Oh.
Anyway, be sure to check us out at betterkind.com. Click on the show notes for episode 206 and follow along.
Do that.
Be sure to check out the podcast. iTunes, Stitcher, all your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to check us out on Twitter.
Well, if you're saying check out the podcast, technically, if they've heard that, they've already checked it out, right?
the podcast.
They have, but depending on where they're listening to it, they may or may not know that there are other avenues by which they can follow and listen. Anyway, join the conversation at Twitter at FlyCasual1138 or on Facebook at facebook.com/FlyCasualPodcast. Also, the big push. Go to subscribe. YouTube.
Do it.
YouTube. Search for Fly Casual Podcast.
3 million subscribers.
Whoa. We are. We need you to be 3,000,001.
Are we? Do we have more than Justin Bieber yet? Got those?
We have all the
got those JB numbers.
We're hot on this trail.
Oh, nice. You watch out.
But anyway, yeah, be sure to check us out there and on Facebook. We're posting the videos now for all the episodes. We're also during the week we're posting the full episodes on Facebook and YouTube. But on YouTube exclusively, we're doing the segments. So if you just want to listen to a particular segment, you can go there and listen to the Porkins. You can listen to the news. You can listen to rumor and discussion, whatever you want. So we're making it very, very user-friendly for y'all.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So you are welcome. So be sure to check it out. So anyway.
Just like a Moana.
Anything else you guys want to add?
What about Moana?
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Garrick.
What? Give me that boat.
Yep. You want to say bye, buddy?
Give me the boat. Give me your boat.
Boat. Give me the boat. I'm Mike. Take care, everybody. See you later. See you later, alligator.
After a while.
Ollie.
Somebody had to say it.
I want that boat.